I've been noticing something about being someone you no longer know in midlife. And there's something about that needs a name. It's not that you're confused, you haven't lost your mind. It's not that you're in crisis mode. It's something a little different. Here's the thing. You can wake up at in your 50s and realize you have built a life that works. Yet still you don't recognize the woman that's inside of that life. And that's not me being dramatic. That's me saying what I'm actually feeling and calling it like it is. And more specifically, you don't recognize her because you built her around managing, managing moods, managing spaces, managing perceptions, managing how she, how you come across. You built a personality around being easy to live with. And now you don't recognize her. And in many ways, you just feel done. Now, I know that we get very good at reading the temperature of a space, and we get pretty good at doing that pretty early. We can sense when something is off long before it becomes a problem. So you lower your tone, you soften your opinion, you explain your no until it sounds reasonable. You call that maturity. But let me say something. What doing that, oh, I got an alarm. Sorry about that. What doing that actually is, it's emotional labor. And you've been carrying it so long, you can't imagine being another way. I remember sitting at dinner once. Nothing was really wrong, but I do remember that the energy shifted some. And I immediately started, wondering, self-reflecting, did I say something? Is he tired? Is this about his work? Maybe I'll lighten the mood. Nobody asked me to do that. I just did it. And that's kind of what I mean. There's an open question under all of this. That is, if you stop managing, then who are you? You're not wondering if you should leave. Let's just do some basic housekeeping. Not even should there be some kind of explosion. Simply, who are you when you're not managing all the things? Sit with that for a bit. Because the deal is around midlife, our tolerance changes. Our energy doesn't stretch as far as it once did. Our patience thins. It's obvious that recovery of energy takes a bit longer. And don't even mention that you can't override yourself the way you used to. And honestly, the role you've been carrying, it starts to feel heavy. Not because you're angry, because you're tired. All right. Let me say something that took me a while to admit. Sometimes I wasn't keeping the peace in my relationship. I was trying to control the outcome. Well, that's not exactly it. I was really trying to prevent discomfort. So if I adjusted first, I wouldn't be caught in some butthurt feeling situation with him later. I don't know what that sounds like, but here's the deal. Doing too much or over functioning, that's the term that people are using. That kept me secure in my relationship, but it certainly did not make me feel free. And maybe there was a time that helped me. I don't know. that it did actually, but I do know that it costs me now, and it costs me in knowing myself. So it's like bouncing from an extreme of overfunctioning to no longer recognizing who I am, what I like, what I want. I just know that I'm tired and I want a drastic change. You don't wake up lost, you wake up unfamiliar because you've been oriented outward for decades. You've been oriented toward approval. You've been oriented toward harmony. You've been oriented toward being the reliable one. And now your body no longer will cooperate. So here's the deal. This isn't about blaming anyone. No one handed you a script and said, go erase yourself. You were praised for being steady, rewarded for being calm, respected for being composed. So you leaned into that. But somewhere in there, you stopped asking yourself, oh, what is actually important to moi? Now, centering yourself or centering ourselves isn't about rebellion. It's reordering. It's noticing when you're about to soften your opinion, but then not doing it. It's noticing when you're about to over-explain and stopping. It's letting someone sit in their own discomfort without rushing to fix it. It's subtle, but it changes the entire orientation of the life that you live from this point on. Here's the authority line. I am no longer organizing myself around other people's reactions. And I'd say that's steady. And when you live from there, dynamics between you will shift. Some people will lean in, others will pull back. And you, my dear, may feel the urge to return to the old version of yourself, the managing one, the familiar one. That's the moment. That's when you decide whether you're going to meet the woman you've finally encountered or retreat back into the old role. And I challenge us to keep moving forward. So let's go back to what I was saying at the beginning. There's something about being someone you no longer know, and that needs a name. It's not confusion. It's not instability. It's the space between who you built and who you actually are now. That space feels a little uncomfortable because you can't manage your way through it. You have to sit in it and meet yourself without a job to perform. You sit in it. You let the feeling pass. You don't rush it. You sit in it. You don't perform. You let the urge pass. You give it a name once you've sat in it. You reflect on it. You don't react. You sit in it. And that, my dear, is calibrating to these new bodies that we have. That is midlife calibration. It's the space where you turn over from the body you remember to the body that you now have. It's not about reinvention. You're fabulous. You've been fabulous. But it is about recognizing or recognition. It's about seeing yourself for where you are right now And if that sounds familiar to you, if this whole spiel sounds familiar to you, subscribe. That helps us stay connected, and it also helps others who may be in need find this talk. All right. As always, take care of yourselves. No, really, really, really take care of yourself. And I will see you in the next video.